Hello and good afternoon to everyone tuning in. I'm Horace Wexler, broadcasting live for KFAK from Duck Winners. GatorGanza presents the funeral of Gator Greg Louganis. And that'll be kicking off here in just a few moments at the top of the hour. There's quite a crowd out here today, and not too many dry eyes in the place. A lot of tears. We're here in GatorGanza near the Scud Presents Sir Chomps-a-Lot Feeding Pavillion. We're set up in the back where we can broadcast live without interfering with the service too much. We'll try to give you a play-by-play of anything that's happening visually. Of course, we have a feed to the audio that will be piping in here as well. So if you couldn't make it out to the funeral today, you'll have no problem following all the goings-on and doing whatever you need to mourn and get some closure. Duck has set up a real nice place for a service here. A podium has been set up on what's usually used as a feeding platform that spans the water tanks, and they put hymnals and programs out on the bleachers here. A lot of folks still coming in, still trying to find a place to sit. They're not late yet, but they're kind of pushing it a little bit. The splash zone, first to fill up, of course. So a lot of folks who didn't get here early are trying to figure out what the best place is now to get a good view. Spoiler, they're all great views. I'm told that Gator Greg's coffin today is provided by McGrave & Sons and also a daughter mortuary. We'll bury anything large or small, short or tall. Doesn't matter how many pounds, we'll put you 6 feet under in the ground. Still got some people filing in here. Of course, Sheriff Bud Nichols is here today, in addition to the normal park security. And that's a move that I firmly support after some mishaps at the Fakahatchee Mayor's Day Parade, which resulted in the death of author Dan Brown. Something I don't think anyone would like to see repeated here today when there's already so much sadness in the air, especially not with members of the 8th Street Dust Kings and the T-Ball Walkers here today. And that's not even mentioning Hot Sauce Man, who the sheriff failed to apprehend after tipping his hand live on the radio. So extra security at an event like this is most welcome. If you're here and you're listening, I don't know why you would, because you would be here. But if you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. All right, looking at the program today, it looks like Father Jonah Likely will be performing the service this afternoon, which is, I think, a bit of a quick switch. Father Michael Petrie, who's currently serving time for attempting to baptize the town with his crop sprayer, had his temporary release canceled. I'd heard Gator Greg Louganis was Catholic, but I'd never heard of an alligator going to Mass. So I'm going to assume that this alligator was more of a lapsed Catholic, if anything. And even though Father Jonah Likely now worships the snake god, I would assume they're all hanging out in the sky in the same place. Though, let me preface that with, I'm no religious scholar. Duck Winters, obviously expected to speak today, and some others expected to speak as well, according to the program here. We've got a couple readings on the docket, and Mayor Mikey duSoleil might be showing up to say a few words as well. The last I heard, he was passed out in a seaplane off the quay, so no one is sure if he's actually going to show up or not. I was also told to expect some surprises today. A little birdie told me that. I don't know what the surprises are, but I'm very excited, and apparently they are only for the more family-friendly of the two funerals, with the other funeral being more blue, I'm told, and in Duck's own words, a bit of a fucking suck. I'm not sure what those surprises could be, but the idea has got me on the edge of my seat and just absolutely ready for this funeral to begin. I know Duck promised a kick-ass funeral, no matter which one you went to, though he did say one of them probably wouldn't make you squirt. And tickets for either event were not cheap. Resellers were marking them up to, I think the last I saw was 175% of the original ticket price, and that's not even including ticket mistress fees. So this funeral here is a real hot ticket today. Well, it looks like the crowd is really starting to settle in here. There's only a few stragglers left looking for their seat, and almost all of them are trying to get to their seats in the middle of the row. So some annoyed folks are standing up or scrunching their knees in and just getting a real face full of a stranger's crotch or butt as they attempt to scoot by. We're going to take a quick break here before things get started, and we will be right back live from Gator Greg Louganis' funeral right here on KFAK.
Hey, you squirt. I'm an algorithm-driven AI construct of military author Thomas Clancy. I don't eat because my body meat is rotten in a platinum box, and this is only an approximation of my conscience. But if I did eat, you know I'd lock and load one of these. Tom Clancy's Tactical Bananas. Other bananas better hit the dirt, because my Tactical Banana is gunning for them. They're holster size for when you need to take a snack on an op. That's short for operation, you communist. And you'll be one smooth operator when you unsnap the banana's bright yellow tactical jacket. It makes it easy to find in the dark and apply that sweet potassium rod to your chore hole. When you're done applying the tactical banana, the jacket converts to a throwable enemy irritant, sure to make those tangos slip up. We guarantee you'll rate this Tagnana a rainbow 6 out of 6. Tom Clancy's Tactical Bananas. Put it inside you, you pussy.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in and joining us, you're listening to the Gator Greg Funeral for Families right here on KFAK, the heart of the swamp. I was told during the break by some of the people working this event that it's a sold-out crowd here today, and I gotta say, I absolutely believe it looking around at these stands. They are just full to the brim. If I didn't know better, I would think we were about to see the meat mayor get chomped with how full the stands are here. It's standing room only, folks.
All right, everyone, just find your dang seats and we'll fire this up.
Okay, Father Jonah Likely is walking up to the podium. It looks like we're about to get underway.
Just be careful about stepping back, Father. Sir Chomps-a-Lot and his kin are in that tank back there, and he is mean as the day is long. You do not want to fall in.
I certainly will. Thank you, Doc. Is this microphone on? Okay, yeah, hi. Thank you all for coming today. My name is Father Jonah Likely. I'll be filling in for Father Michael Petrie, who was supposed to be getting a temporary release from the correctional facility he was in. But he got into an altercation and, well, he stabbed the CO with a sharpened deck of playing cards when they ran out of fruit cups in the mess hall. So, unfortunately, he was unable to give me the full briefing on what's happening here because they put him in solitary and he's not allowed any visitors. I see a lot of folks crying out there. Is this a wedding? Or a funeral?
It's a dang funeral. It's a funeral, Father.
Oh, right. A funeral. Yes, I see it up there on the banners, hanging around the amphitheater. Gator Greg, Luganis. Very sad. Okay, well, I know Father Petrie and I have very different opinions about religion, but I'll just do this the best that I know how. Please stand and bow your heads. O ye who slither above us, look down on your imperfect subjects, O Lord. We whose hearts are so heavy with grief, whose appendages doth protrude from our bodies in a most unsnake-like way. We hope to slither with you one day, Lord, as our beloved friend Gator Greg Luganis slithers with you now. When we walked along the beach to follow you, Lord, and there was only one weird track that kinda looked like someone had dragged a rope down the beach, you carried us, Lord. You carried us on your smooth but never slimy back. No, we reject those evil preconceptions. Be with us now in our hour of grief and comfort us like a clutch of eggs wrapped in your thick, cold coils. Amen. Please be seated.
A nice prayer there to open the service for Gator Greg. And now, according to the program, we've moved from the benediction to the opening display of flags. There's a helicopter circling above us now. It's pretty loud. A few people seem to be pointing at something, but I can't quite make out what it is from here. It looks like someone has... Oh, someone has fallen out of the helicopter? Oh, oh my God! It's Stan the Fan! Folks, Stan the Fan has just started making big arcs around us over the amphitheater, riding his fan, and Well, it's not really a parachute. I'm not sure what that's called. A parasail? Maybe a paraglider? Whatever it is, it's exciting to have him overhead today. He's doing big circles over the amphitheater, and he's pulled smoke. And now, oh my gosh, big trails of red, white, and blue smoke are following in his wake, folks. Oh man, folks, this is already worth the price of admission. He's unfurling a big flag behind him now, and it's a giant flag with... it's Gator Greg Louganis' crooked smile. Oh man, that'll bring a tear to your eye right there. I wish you could see it, folks. It ought to be the new flag of Fakahatchee in this broadcaster's humble opinion.
Hey folks, Dan the Fan here. God bless Fakahatchee, and God bless Gator Greg Louganis. I think I passed his angel on the way down, folks, and it gave me a thumbs up. This gonna be the most kick-ass funeral of the year. Rock and roll.
Boy, when Duck said there were gonna be some surprises today, he wasn't kidding. But that's gotta be it, right? I just don't know how he would top that.
I'd like to call up our first reader today, Royston Bongdonor.
A reading is what this is from the third letter of Ricky to the Brohammer. Are we not righteous? Are we not bodacious in his excellence? Full to the brim with both gratitude and beatitude. In him aren't all things possible. Could he not cast Brady from the Buccaneers if he wished it so? Then be at peace, brother.
Bongdonor sucks!
Gentlemen, please.
You should send him to hell, Father. He's like this all the time.
I don't know what he's talking about. I had something in my throat.
Bullshit.
I am not sending anyone to hell today. Please continue reading.
Where was I? And now that in him all things excellent... Did I say now? No. And know that in him all things excellent are possible, for he watches over you, as he never wishes to be bored. So he doth throw in a little spice to keep it interesting, so that he may not grow bored. Like a squirt of the divine ghost pepper salsa on the nachos of your life. So rest, Broheim, and know that he smiles upon you both in life and in death. For to him you are the most fully loaded, with both sour cream and jalapenos, and pico de gallo and beans, and beef and also cheese. And, you know, chips. Amen.
Amen. Now please give it up for Piano Bot 6000 and Fakahatchee Opera's very own Italian, Wendigo Musepi, to sing a hymn for us.
Wow, okay, this is very exciting for those of you who are listening in. I wish you could be here. This is a veritable who's who of the Fakahatchee elite turning out for this. I've never seen a funeral like this before. It's absolutely star-studded. Piano Bot looks absolutely stunning in its white sequin chassis, just absolutely radiant. The sun is gleaming off of it, and of course, it's nice to see Wendigo back out in the world as well after his tragic struggle with agoraphobia last year, which had him teleconferencing into most of last year's operas.
Thank you. This computes as a sad occasion.
L'alligatore, Greg, ha significato così tanto per tutti noi qui oggi. Io il vero angelo ed ho seduto con Maria, la madre di Dio. I sori e sarisi a denti piocino, a cielo e benedicono tutti noi.
Hey, we don't speak spaghetti. He says it's pleasant to be here, and Fakahatchee rules.
Calibrating.
Old Gator Greg, I almost never wonder what life would be if to me your memory fade. I can't forget your boiling, rolling hunger, and see you devour the meat mayor that we made. Your smiling charm, blessed Fakahachi, all Gator Greg, smile on me, I beg. You were our friend, we chucked coins in mouth of thee. Your reptile brawn, he's dead and gone. When walking through Duck Winter's GatorGanza, I watched the smaller alligators feed, but with many teeth, an absolute bonanza, and your massive size made you a special breed. In heavenly swans, I'll see you swimming free. All Gator Greg, smile on me, I beg. One halo gold and angels' wings assigned to thee. Your attributes will make great boots. Everybody.
We're going to take a quick break while we can for station ID, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
I see lesser gators at my feet.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. We all know the pain and agony of being stuck somewhere we don't want to be. Work, school, a spouse's softball game, even the opera. That's hours of your life that you are wasting. Tick-tock. Well, waste away no more. I'm Colonel Mutts Nuts, the inventor of Flash Splash, instant diarrhea drops. Just one drop of Flash Splash and you'll have the perfect excuse to leave that funeral, kids' piano recital, or bridal shower, and fast. How fast? So fast we put Flash in our name. Our instant diarrhea drops are a proprietary formula of melted gelato, cheap Indian food, eye drops, chicken sashimi, and Taco Bell discards that are sure to get you out the door and running. Some people ask me, Colonel, couldn't I just say I have diarrhea instead of actually giving myself diarrhea? That's an excellent question. But if you're dealing with a real Kojak or Columbo, they'll go snooping for your pooping, and you don't want to end up under their magnifying glass without some shit tickets. You want the pants alibi you can trust. Are we FDA approved? No, we're a supplement. We don't have to be. Get the drops to give you plops. Flash Splash, the perfect excuse.
Flash Splash is not responsible for any accidents that may result from taking Flash Splash. Please consult your doctor if you develop sweating, sloughing of the dermis, mucous membrane infection, or diarrhea is lasting longer than 8 hours. Well, I have to say that was just lovely. Got me just right. Looking around, it seems like it did the same to City Council member Richard Baisbon, who's dabbing at his eyes. He's just buried his head in Billy the Bull's shoulder from Bull in a China Shop, airing at 5 p.m. every Tuesday on FBS. Billy is looking a bit misty-eyed as well, if I'm being honest, which is unusual for him. It's pretty rare to see him not yelling swears at failing pottery. So a lot of big feelings in this performance tank / amphitheater today. Looks like Duck is going somewhere. I don't know what that's about. Possibly just to dry his eyes, maybe take a minute for himself. All right, Father Jonah is gesturing to Skrit Chowderhorn of the T-Ball Walkers, who I believe is... Yes, okay, he's getting up to do the second reading. He'll take a minute. since he's on a walker instead of a scooter. But, oh, man, he is really rubbing it in Royston's face that he doesn't need to use the ramp. Well, I got to say, that's just not safe for him to keep jumping, to keep fooling around on the stairs like that at his age. I sincerely hope we're not going to see somebody break a hip here today or worse. All right, let's listen.
A reading from the Book of Brown, chapter 20, verses 13 through 22. Langdon knew she was right. The symbolism of the clues meshed too perfectly. The pentacle, the Vitruvian man, Da Vinci, the goddess, and even the Fibonacci sequence. A coherent symbolic set, as iconographers would call it, all inextricably tied. And his phone call to me this afternoon, Sophie added. He said he had to tell me something. I'm certain his message at the Louvre was his final effort to tell me something important, something he thought you could help me understand. Langdon frowned. Oh, draconian devil. Oh, lame saint. He wished he could comprehend the message both for Sophie's well-being and his own.
Are you even literate, old boy? They're just words. You don't have to be afraid of them. They can't bite you as they come out of your mouth.
Tell him to knock it off, Father, before I have to make that piece of shit gobble my ass. You hear that, Royston, you broiled piece of doggy-doo? I'm gonna knock your dentures out, and then I'm gonna make you, with your soft mouth teethless, eat my ass.
Gentlemen, or should I say boys, because you're acting like children.
Sorry, Father.
If we're children and he's a toddler and I'm a tween.
More like a twink.
Sit down and be quiet.
Sorry, Father.
Oh, okay. Skrit is headed to sit down. Things were honestly getting a little spicy there for a moment. Thought we were going to have some violence here at the funeral, but I have to say, Father Jonah seems to have handled that exceedingly well. Exceedingly well. All right, according to the program I'm looking at, Father Michael Petrie, well, I guess it'll be Father Jonah, is actually going to give us some thoughts.
Death is the final door. It's the last and final step we take in our existence, as everything will eventually die. But this is not the end, is it? It's the beginning. Doors always lead to something. Even when you're leaving, a door is taking you to a new place. A place you weren't just moments before. And yet, while we talk about death being like a door, the door is merely a symbol or transition. For much like Robert Langdon, we do not know what is on the other side. We wish we could comprehend the snake god's message, much like Robert Langdon himself. We want that comprehension. We want to know the divine. We want to know what happens when we die. We want to know this for both Sophie's well-being and for our own. We fear the other side, and so we are seekers. We seek knowledge to alleviate that fear. And as much as we think we know, like Langdon himself, there is always something to uncover that is beyond our initial understanding. So trust, my friends. The clues that Robert Langdon faces are inextricably linked, woven together, much like our very creation. We are the Vitruvian man. The Fibonacci sequence is math, the goddess is sex and procreation, and Da Vinci is art. All eternally tied together with the power of the holy word to weave and make all of creation. I ask you, my brothers and sisters in slithering, if the snake god hath birthed us from the clutch of eggs and made us one of the tenants of his creation, would he simply allow us to fade to black, to undo the tapestry of his works, or would he call us back to his lustrous coil, like he has called back sweet Gator Greg Luganis? Amen.
Coming for to carry me home. Coming for to carry me home.
I understand we have some eulogies.
Wow, powerful sermon here today. Powerful thoughts there from Father Jonah Likely. Whether you believe in the snake god or not, Though if I'm not mistaken, I think the snake god is just like the regular god, except more snaky, and I don't think it has a beard. But then again, I'm no theologian, so you'd have to talk to your spiritual advisor. Okay, well, while we wait for the eulogies to get figured out, are you focused on getting the sexiest set of new wheels you can? Well, Franklin over at Autoerotic Fixation only carries the hottest, sexiest brands of cars. Give Franklin a call, he won't jerk you around, and he won't leave you hanging. He'll put you in a new Gadabout Landship, Miasma Roadstreak, or Raytheon Shadowcaster faster than it can go 0 to 60. You could try to find a similar deal elsewhere, but I wouldn't hold my breath. Those other dealerships will try to negotiate until you're blue in the face. Autoerotic Fixation, for those obsessed with only driving the hottest, sexiest cars, and a proud sponsor of Gator Greg. Hold on, we got something happening here. I don't know if you can hear me, but Duck is on a jet ski in the alligator tank, doing 360s and jumping his own wake. He's absolutely soaked the splash zone. Rockets are coming off the back of the jet ski, and he's had this whole place wired with pyrotechnics. This is absolutely astonishing.
How y'all doing out there? Y'all having a real sad time today? Hell yeah! I can't hear you. I said y'all having a real sad time today. Hell yeah. Well, all right. Let's get sad. Okay. Thanks y'all for coming here today to this here funeral for my bestest friend in the whole world. All right, sure, he was scaly and sometimes he stank a swamp. You know, there's also 1 or 2 times when his tail knocked over a lamp and I'd have hit him with the Southern Living magazine because, you know, lamps are expensive. And I just can't be having that, especially because I think he did it on purpose as a prank. Because he wasn't clumsy, but, you know, his tail would just go wiggle-waggle. You know, but he'll never break a lamp again, so... I'd break 1,000 lamps to get you back, boo. 1,000. I'd live in the dark forever. You know, maybe use a candle or, like, you know, some kind of flashlight. One of them glow sticks you get when you go into an abandoned factory and there's one of them rave things going on. You know, there's actually plenty of lights that aren't lamps, so I mean, I guess I'd be okay. You know, but I don't know if we're going to be okay, because Greg was amazing. Y'all know this. I mean, he was playful. He bled Fakatashi pride. Heck, he bit half of you, so you bled it too. He lived here for most of my life, from what I know, the old geezer. Probably been part of that T-Ball Walkers if he was outside the GatorGanza.
Like hell he would. Clearly he has the medal of a dusted king.
Silence!
Don't blow your hot air at me, friend.
Like I said, he was my best friend. But he had a temper, you know? Don't go walking away from this funeral thinking he was the purest saint that ever walked the earth. I saw him eat a dog once when he got real annoyed. In fairness, the dog was just yipping and was just asking for it, you know, just that. You know, I mean, I would have eaten it if I could have, you know, just to get it to shut up like a bug right in your ear. Of course, we all know it's mostly wrong to eat a dog. Mostly. Strange that you can eat hot dogs, though. Just can't eat cold dogs. Okay. And Greg weren't even hungry. He could be like that sometimes, just real temperamental. You know, he wouldn't get really super mad. He was, ooh-wee! He was crotchety. Like, I don't mind going to the dentist, but I never bit the dentist because I didn't want him fishing around in my mouth with his hooks, okay? No, probably afraid of what he might find. Cavities. You know, but I think we were really balanced each other out real good, you know. Sometimes I think about the time the Owls threw an adult prom, and Gator Greg and I threw on some tuxedos, and we had to do some work on this, you know, like cutting and sewing, because tuxedos are just not made for gators. Like, no matter how many times you get a lawyer to send a letter, but oh boy, did we cut a magnificent path when we stepped out onto that dance floor. It was like the sea parted for us, because here come a couple of real cool dudes. I mean, Gator Greg was wearing shades, and I swear, y'all, he just tipped him and was like, hey, dudes. It was cool. Like, it was like Jersey Shore cool, you know? We got real drunk that night up on Rico, and some bargain gin we picked up at a gas station, you know, because gin always tastes better when it comes from a gas station. And, okay, I'll admit it, we got behind the wheel, all right? And I know that ain't right, but the statute of limitations is up anyway. So it's not like we killed anyone, in this case. So we good. But the next morning, we wake up in the truck on the beach, half a key deer trapped in the grill, and he's chowing down as we watch the sun come up. And, well, I just wish I could live in that moment forever. And I guess, I'm just a little bummed because, I promised Gator Greg that one day he'd see me spin that big old wheel on the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, Greg was a big-time wheel watcher. Loved it, He plopped down in a couple of kiddie pools we glued together with some dirty water in it, and I dragged the TV out into the yard, and he'd sit in that pool and blow bubbles while I cracked a beer, and he could never guess the puzzle because he was a dummy. He was not smart, but he liked watching. His favorite category was rhyme time, and I guess now, he'll never see me on there shaking hands, pat Sajak, and waving at banner. Which doesn't even make sense because she's right there. Like, why would I be waving at her? I could just say, hey, man, look, but we're just waving at each other. I don't know why I just go give a hug, shake her hand. I don't want to get in trouble with Pat. I respect him. It's a reminder that you never have the time you think you have with your loved ones. So make the most of it, Sorry. Hang on.
For the listeners at home, it appears Duck has just punched himself in the testicles.
I promised myself I wouldn't cry up here. I punched myself, right in the bath bombs. So I did. And I have. Well, that's probably enough out of me anyway. So I like to invite some good friends of Gator Greg up here to say a few words. Any of y'all got a nice pack?
Oh my God.
Hello, everyone. I can't contractually use my name as I've licensed it out to a company that makes air fryers, but I think we all know who I am. Let's say I'm Feven Stry. It is very nice to be here today at Gator Greg's funeral. Beautiful weather, but obviously a very sad day. A sad day indeed. I want to pay my respects today to an absolute legend, a gator who was the top of the crop. And for us here, grieving him today, I think it's important that we focus on the time we did have with him and not the amount of time that we won't anymore, because obviously that's a whole lot more time. Time that we won't have him from essentially here to eternity. And, oh God, that's a bit overwhelming, isn't it? Really puts everything into a rather grim perspective. There's only darkness waiting for us in the end. Darkness. A big hole of blackness just waiting to swallow us up into its gaping maw. How will we ever go on? How will we ever move on from this? Is there nothing that can stop the eternal advance of the armies of death as they steal our loved ones from us and slip away into the cold, dark night? What kind of God would force the ugliness of death upon his creations? Oh, golly. Well, all my time's up. I hope to see everyone at the snack bar after this. I was told to get a gator dog with onions and duck sauce and wash it down with an ice-cold chain-link fence-flavored scud.
I understand this Stephen Fry spells it with a V instead of a PH, and is similar, though legally distinct, from the Stephen Fryer, which is a quick-as-lightning way to cook a chicken. Here comes an old man that looks like Alan Alda. This must be the celebrity portion of the eulogy.
Hello, everyone. You might know me from playing Mr. Mash on television, and my seminal roles as guy who talks next to the Atari writer, and office hanger arounder from the 1988 IBM as 400 mini-computer commercial. Both of these advertisements won me a spokesy for my bold embrace of truth and iconic voice over in television commercials. Now I'm here today at Greg Louganis' funeral to do the same. I'll be honest, I didn't know he died, but even though I didn't know the man, it is my deepest honor to be here. Greg is, or rather was, an incredible athlete, a winner of multiple Olympic gold medals, and an incredible activist for LGBT rights. Not to mention he was on a Wheaties box like most of my heroes.
It's an alligator.
Excuse me?
Gator Greg Louganis.
God damn it. This whole thing was for an alligator? Why the f*** would you throw a funeral for an alligator? Why would you name an alligator after Greg Louganis? This is the single stupidest waste of my time since the Polaroid Pronto was introduced, and I was replaced by the ad folks with James. Oh, I think I'm so smooth, Garner. May he rest in peace. I'm getting back in my limo now. And if any of you hayseeds even think about coming up and talking to me, I'll give you my special punch in the face I call the Hawkeye. You hear me? That's when I punch you so hard your eyelids swell up and out like the wings of a bird of prey. Who called me and told me to come here? Was it you? You with the lazy eye?
Oh, that old man is just swinging his pointing finger around now. He's looking for someone to blame.
I'd like to welcome my personal friend and an even better musician, Dick Kors of Dick Kors and the Banquet Bears. Come to the stage. Get up here, you lunatic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, hey, this is Dick Kors. I'm not sure if anybody, I heard about Gator Gregory Gaines passing. And, well, I was a little shook by it. Gator Gregory Gaines and I have a history. He inspired me to write one of the very first songs I ever wrote. So I dug through my archives, and I found this old cassette tape. I thought, it was good for me to hear it. Might enjoy it as well. So I'm just gonna hold the tape recorder up to the microphone here, and play it for you. And I hope, God bless. There I was, a young man from the backwoods, gigging frogs and drinking beer. I was feeling good. Swamp was thick and sticky, like a woman should be. When that gator slid up, I could tell from his look my life had changed. Then and there, it's all it took. And I never had much use for crocodile tears, not along these dusty roads in all these years. And even though he ain't my friend, the guy was really more than acquaintance. Something tells me that Gator Gregory misunderstood. I wouldn't miss that guy too much. We were really just acquaintances. God, I wonder where Gregory Gaines is. The alligator version of Gregory Gaines. Come to think of it, I don't remember what that guy's name is anyway. Gerald, maybe? Preston, I don't know. But I wonder where Gator Gregory Gaines is. Hell, that's the first time I picked up a guitar. First time I picked up the guitar was part of the song, but it was, in fact, the first time I picked up the guitar. And he inspired me to do that. They say, sing what you know, and, well, I guess I'm going to have to write a song about how I'm going to miss that scaly sumbitch. But I bet he's up there now, somewhere, rocking out with Christ.
Thank you, Mr. Coors. Mr. Mayor, I believe you wanted to say a few words?
Dick Coors, ladies and gentlemen, give him another big hand. Give me a ring and let's do a duet sometime. Something about nighttime being the right time for a brew and a roll. I like where this is going already. Hit me up. You got my digits. Hey, are you going to the adults-only funeral later?
I'm gonna.
All right. Well, find me by the orgy buffet. Let's talk. All right. A little bit of business. Well, thought there might be a little bit of trumpet fanfare to announce your mayor, or a drum to at least keep me stepping lively. But that's okay. It's all right. We got a full house here for this matinee. A lot of familiar faces from the town out there in the crowd. I see Basebon out there, and where Basebon is, Skeet Barlow is not far behind. You council members always stick together. Judge Franzia. Hey there. Sir Briston Mopes. Well met, sir.
Good morrow, sweet sir.
All right. Well, that's Dr. Rouch Filbert. If you don't know him, go ahead and wave, Doc. He's probably the only one here specifically who's had his fingers in the mayor's asshole, because he's got to check, you hit a certain age and, well, I've lived hard. Y'all in the splash zone look nice and cool, like Duck gave it to you good when he came up on that jet ski. That's nice. That water will keep you nice and cool. All right. Gator Greg Louganis. He was a gator, all right. His name was Greg, all right. Now, as mayor here at Fakahatchee, because I kept my hand on the desk the longest, I feel a certain duty to weigh in here, even though I am a touch intoxicated, but who among us is not let them throw the first rum? Now, I didn't know Greg well, but I do know he was definitely not like an ex-wife you'd like to mysteriously disappear. Even though the state couldn't prove you had anything to do with it. I know that. And well, that makes Gator Greg about as good in my book as he can be. And it's a good book. People call the Bible the good book, but it's a better book than that. Gator Greg, he's right in it. I don't know what the title is because I've never read the book. So, I think it falls under my jurisdiction as mayor, and more importantly, as a recording superstar that's been referred to as the Tiki Troubadour of the tropics. But not the Tropic of Cancer, right, Doc?
The most pristine anus I've ever seen.
Ain't no polyps up in there. No, it's my jurisdiction to proclaim two things. Number one, I'm abolishing the anti-ghost legislation that was passed under my predecessor, striking it right from the record. That way, if that heroic gator's ghost or spirit is out there somewhere and he wants to come a-hunting, well, he can join us right on back here in Fakahatchee. That's right. Go ahead and clap. And number two, right here in Fakahatchee, we are going to build a statue of Gator Greg. And we are going to put it right smack dab in the middle of Main Street. So even if his ghost isn't with us, he'll always be with us. As a statue. Life size, too. Well, there wasn't as many claps as I thought it might get, so, seems a little too small for the amount of love he left in our hearts. So, what if I said 10 times life size? And don't you fight me on that Basebon, you son of a bitch. He probably hates Gator Greg. Basebon probably is one of those mean girl burn books. Gator Greg's name written in it. That's a good movie. Y'all know Lacey Chabert in that movie? She's pretty good. Only does Hallmark movies now. Why is that? That's safe-free girls tearing it up in the films. I don't know. I don't get Holly weird sometimes. Well, all right. Well, my assistant is telling me to wrap up this set. There will be no encore. So, in summation, Dick Coors, call me. Gator Greg, good. We're going to have the mostest of the ghosts and 10x that Gator Greg statue right in the middle of Fakahatchee. Lacey Chabert, where'd you go? God bless me, God bless Fakahatchee, and God bless that big-ass gator. Also, make sure to buy my new album, Rum Tummy, wherever you get your music. Is it saying goody? Might be saying goody.
I don't think the mayor quite realizes how big 10 times life size is going to be in this case. Wait. Duck is getting up to speak again.
I want to thank you all for coming today. Remember the sexy funeral tonight, all right, at the other location. And ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask that you don't wear any tricky or confusing belts or straps. Okay, well, everyone knows no visit to Duck Winter's GatorGanza is complete without someone shooting a t-shirt cannon at your head. So, in honor of Greater Gators, what do you say we give that bitch Gator a 21 t-shirt cannon salute? These 21 are for you, buddy! There you go! Ooh, look out there! Ooh, that one caught you in the face! Ooh, that one caught you in the back balls! Hey, give it back to the kid that caught that one, buddy. Here's one for you up there in the nosebleeds.
Head for my head.
Hey-o. Nice catch. Woo, no way that shirt's gonna fit you, buddy. You want these. Nice. Ooh, round your crusty nibblers. Not even looking. I'm not even looking. Oh, hey, I'm sorry about that. I mean to shoot you in your breasts. Say hello to my little t-shirt.
All right, Duck is firing his t-shirt cannon into the crowd now. Seems like we're starting to wrap up here at Gator Greg's funeral. Sorry, well, I wasn't expecting that, but it looks like I've just got myself a free t-shirt. Thanks, Duck. Okay, so it seems like we're wrapping up. The only thing left on the program here is a poem. I'm not sure who's going to be reading that poem, maybe Duck himself. But in anticipation of wrapping up here soon, from all of us here at KFAK, thank you very much for joining us for the live broadcast of Gator Greg's funeral. It's been a sad and momentous event, and it means a lot
Gator
that
Greg,
you join us to
wherever
share
you
it.
are, that was for you. So typically after the service, we generally continue on to the gravesite, but in this case, I'd like you to visit the deceased in the gift shop, where you can toss your high-value coins into Greater Greg's stuffed mouth and purchase coin purses and wallets made from the finest high-quality Gator Greg. That'll be right after this next and final piece that cost me a pretty penny, like the most beautiful penny. Kind of like the pennies you could throw into Gator Greg's beautiful mouth. Gator Greg loved books, just really enjoyed the taste. Between you and me, I think he'd get a little stoned on that glue they use for the binding of the books, but who am I to judge? Because I'd get stoned too. Anyway, his favorite book to sink his teeth into was The Goblet of Fire with the Harry Potter. So ladies and gentlemen, reading an original poem in honor of Gator Greg, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Harry Potter herself, J.K. Rowling.
Wow.
Who's coming to the late funeral, if you get my drift, but was nice enough to accept a check to join all you non-horny folks at this.
Wow. This feels like a huge surprise. And to save it for the end, well, I mean, that's classic Duck. What a showman. So I hope you haven't tuned out and you're still joining us. You're coming up.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Curran Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. I'm not actually married to Harry because the government says he's fictional, but he's real in all our hearts, and one day, mark my words, I'm going to lock that down. This is a poem I wrote called Eggy Greggy. I didn't realize when I wrote this that the titles of poems didn't have to rhyme. But it was too late, it was already real, and I couldn't uncreate it. Eggy Greggy. So let us remember Gator Greg who died, a solid friend who now rests with pride. The swamp his kingdom, but now his tomb, as time carries us toward our doom. But as he lay in his final rest, the creatures all paid their respects. The crickets sang and the birds took flight in honor of the gator who died that night. But I will not cry and shed a tear. Instead, I'll toast our friend Greg with beers, because I think that I might one day later see a very special alligator. It may not be until I die, but I know I'll see him in the sky. A gator whose hungry mouth is wide with a toothy grin never satisfied. A gator large and old and sweet, taken from us too soon at least. A gator huge with skin so scaly, and large angels' wings cause he's so heavy. He'll welcome me through pearly gates, and take me to where our Lord awaits, and he'll announce me to our Lord, and maybe put in a goodish word. That's why my tears are gone and dried, and my smiling face you mustn't chide, because I know that moment will be quite sublime, though it may not be for quite a time. And in the swamps where the water runs slow, we'll always remember the gator who had to go.
Wow, do I like poems now? Wow, thank you for that. Ooh, man. Give it up for that Harry Potter lady, everybody.
Or
Give it up for Hot Sauce Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, it seems Hot Sauce Man, or should I say Deputy Tucker, has appeared on top of some of the scaffolding over the lectern. Just another failure of our sheriff, if we're being honest. He accidentally tipped off Hot Sauce Man on my radio program, Night Drive. And so when he had arrived to apprehend Hot Sauce Man was gone. Well, it certainly seems like he's got a chance to apprehend him today. Keep in mind, if you're listening, at home or in your car, this is a live event. The situation is rapidly changing. So we'll do our best to continue to update you as we have details.
Everybody stay calm. Whatever dastardly deed you have planned here today, Hot Sauce Man, you better just knock it off. You're not going to get away with it. We know it's you, Tucker. Now don't you move. I'm coming up there to put you in cuffs.
Okay, Hot Sauce Man and Sheriff Bud Nichols are yelling at each other. Sheriff Nichols has started climbing the scaffolding, but it looks like it might take a while, as the ladders are on opposite ends of the scaffolding going all the way up. I've just noticed that Hot Sauce Man has several large, heavy-looking barrels up there with him. It must have taken him ages to get them up there. I don't know. Maybe he planned this last night. I don't know that he brought them up there last night. This is really all speculation.
I was forced to dig through Gator Great shit for days by Sheriff Bud Nichols, so I had returned to taint his home with the stink of my spicy sauce so that his soul would know my revenge. When what do I find? But a giant funeral celebrating one of those very gators who tormented me so. Well, I hope you like hot sauce, Fakatashi. Because when I press this button, hot sauce will spray from every fire sprinkler in the amphitheater, coating everything and everyone in it. And as you can see from this barrel, it's a hot sauce so very spicy, it's considered an environmental hazard unless it's diluted with water. Yup, these babies right here are full of shit.
Okay, a bit of the scaffolding came off, and now one of the drums of sauce is loose, and it's rolling on the scaffolding. It's rolling down a ladder, and, well, now it's going the other way, on the level below.
No.
Hot Sauce Man has just kicked one of his other drums, and it, too, has gone rolling down the scaffolding. Good grief, it looks like it's going to take out the sheriff entirely, just absolutely flatten him. Look out, Sheriff! Okay, he's jumped that first barrel, but the other one isn't too far behind. The sheriff is looking pretty athletic out there for a big guy. Oof, I think he's really going to have to time this right to avoid... Oh, the sheriff has found a hammer. He's got a hammer. I'm not sure how that's going to help him here or why he's swinging it up and down so quickly, but... Oh, the hammer has completely destroyed the second barrel of sauce. Sauce is everywhere, and the sheriff is going up the next ladder. He's not far from Hot Sauce Man now, who's jumping up and down in fury. But what's happened to the first... Oh, God, look out! That is grisly. The barrel has come off the scaffolding and completely crushed author Jeremy Karen Rowling. I can't tell if I'm looking at hot sauce or blood, but there sure is a lot of whatever it is. Get him, Sheriff! Get him! Bud Nichols is almost to the top of the scaffolding now. Hot Sauce Man looks like he's got nowhere to go. Finally, our town might see some actual He leaped! Leapt! He jumped! Hot Sauce Man has just plunged into the Scud Presents Sir Chomps-a-Lot Feeding Pavillion tank. He's swimming frantically toward the edge. I think I speak for a lot of Fakahatchee when I say I hope he gets chomped. But the sheriff is all the way up there and... Wait, what is this? It's hard to tell from here, folks, but it looks like Sheriff Nichols has pulled the cable from one of the stage lights and... My God, he's swung out from the scaffolding like Tarzan, and the cable's unraveling. He's inches from the pond, and holy shit! Now, Sir Chomps-a-Lot and all his kin have come out of their fake cave. I think they're expecting to be fed. He's jumped on Sir Chomps-a-Lot's head. Oh God! Now he's leaping to the next gator as its mouth is closed. And again, I have to say I'm really impressed. He's clearing the distance fast, but Hot Sauce Man has already climbed out the other side of the tank and has disappeared into the rest of the park.
Come back, you coward!
My God! Absolute bedlam here at... No, we're not cutting away to a commercial. We're sticking with this. This is a story in the making. Okay, so if you're still listening, Father Jonah seems to be holding what's left of JK's arm, which is, I honestly can't tell from here if it's even attached anymore. People are starting to leave, and quickly, too. Fleeing might be a better way to describe it. Doctor, can we get a word? Doctor, I saw you inspecting Ms. Rowling. Is there anything that you can tell us about her condition?
Oh, absolutely, Horace. I'd love to share what I know with your audience. Are you familiar with what a doornail is?
I mean, I would assume it's just a nail that goes in the... Not really.
Well, she's deader than that. And that's a thing that's very dead. Closed casket time, if you get my drift. She's dead and messed up in an absolutely fascinating way. I took some pictures that I'm going to post online, and I suspect, Horace, that they're going to be a big hit with both edutains and production designers from primetime detective shows who need inspiration.
Well, that's a shame. She passed.
No, my dear boy, passed implies that someone tossed something to her. She caught it and then tossed it to someone else. In this case, what was tossed to her was a heavy drum of extremely potent sauce, and she did indeed catch it, but with her face, and she passed it to nobody else.
I see. Well, that's a real shame.
A damn shame to lose another author, if you ask me, Horace. Damn shame. Well, life goes on. And you know how I feel about grieving.
Right.
I'm off for a round of pickleball. You should try it if you haven't. It'll really give you a big, healthy shins, shin bones, and the muscles around and behind them.
Okay, thank you for stopping to talk to us, Dr. Scroggins.
No, my pleasure.
Okay, if you're just joining us, this is a situation that is ongoing. Essentially, a beautiful funeral service has just erupted into pure chaos at Gator Greg's funeral, and a surprise appearance by Hot Sauce Man has resulted in the death of author J.K. Rowling being crushed to death by a heavy drum of hot sauce. This is going to conclude our broadcast, but I urge you to keep your radio tuned to KFAK for more updates on this situation as they develop.
Can I say something real quick?
Duck!
Yeah, just real quick, Horace.
Duck, hold the feed open. Don't cut the feed just yet. What would you like to say, Duck?
It was a perfect funeral, don't you think?
Fakahatchee Radio. Still American for now.